All right, 7 o'clock. Let's get this thing rolling. It's the October 5th meeting of the Farmington Planning Board. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I think everyone's been here before. You know where the emergency exits are. Everybody is signed in. Please mute your phones and watches and all that good stuff. And first item is approval of the last minutes. Everybody had a chance to review them. Any comments or changes? And a motion to approve. Moved by Adrian, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? I know Aaron. Yeah, Aaron's going to abstain. All in favor? Signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, one abstention. Okay. Legal notices were published. We still have one open public hearing. So we're going to, the way we're going to do this is I'm going to go through the items. Special use permits, we're in deliberation for the first one because we did close the public hearing. So PB 0902-22, special use permit for sale. Public hearing is closed, board is in deliberation. So staff, any additional comments? I know we have a resolution with conditions.
We have a resolution with conditions. Everybody's saying.
Okay, Dan?
Same.
Tim?
I don't have anything to
B? Okay, board, anything on PB 0902-22? Doug?
No.
Aaron?
No.
Adrian? Okay, with that, we have a resolution with conditions for PB 0902-22. Applicant, are you guys okay with those conditions?
Yeah.
Good with the conditions. With that, clerk, please take a roll, or no, I need a motion to approve the resolution with conditions and waive the reading. Moved by Doug, seconded by
Aaron.
Aaron. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Aaron Sweet.
Aye.
Peter Rose. Aye. And Henry.
Okay, that one's taken care of. Second one is PB 0903-22. We still have a public hearing open on that one according to my clerk, which is always right. So, we'll go through, we heard it last time, I think we're good. This is for repairs and maintenance. Ron, any comments? Nope. Resolution with condition?
Resolution with condition.
Okay, Dan.
I'm good.
Tim.
I'm good.
Diane.
I'm good as well.
This is a public hearing. Do we have anyone here or online, and there's no one online, I don't believe, that wants to speak for or against this application? This is PB 0903-22, special use permit for repairs and maintenance. Anyone here to speak for or against? Okay, board. Doug, anything on that one?
One of it.
Adrian. PB 0903-22, special use permit for repairs and maintenance.
Yeah, the only thing I have is, I think it said something about a fuel tank for that one. There was gonna be a fuel tank or
Special
something.
use permit? Did we talk about a fuel tank?
That's
and
an oil,
special use permit?
oil separator. Oil separator.
What, oil
Separator.
separator?
I don't call it fuel tank.
Well, I thought it was weird that
Resolution?
in addition to, yeah, it's number C. So, in addition to show location of fuel tanks to be installed or capacity each tank.
It says it will not be.
So in the
Will not be.
code, it calls out if its fuel tank is being installed. We have to show location.
Okay, yeah.
Their response back to us, answering all the different categories,
Yeah.
was no fuel tanks were being installed.
Anything else?
I just must remember that difference. So, no, that's it for that.
Aaron?
My question is, and I wasn't able to get this out to everybody earlier, the difference between a motor vehicle service station and a vehicle maintenance shop. First off, are you guys planning on selling lubricants, washing materials, polishing materials?
Selling them to the public, you mean?
Yes, selling to the public.
Not like, no, because we might be using them in the normal course of business, but
Right.
we're not going to technically be selling, we don't really have a parts department to sell those things.
Okay.
Not as a used car store. If at some point we did open up a new car store, then that answer would be different.
Okay. And that, my issue, my question was, are they allowed to sell stuff, those materials based on a motor vehicle service station? But I guess in this case, it doesn't matter. So on.
You're good, okay. So, is there any objection on the board to close the public hearing? So we'll close the public hearing, John, for PB 0903-22. And the applicant has a resolution with conditions for this special use permit. Is all those okay? Do you have any issues with them?
They changed it. Somehow it only had Monday through Saturday on the resolution. Remember when we were here the last time, we agreed to make it Monday through Sunday, not thinking we would ever have it, but just, they said, keep it in there.
Okay, 13, we're gonna change from,
Another comment on that. The letter that was provided to us from you guys said your maintenance would be Monday through Saturday. Your sales would include Sunday. So that's why it was drafted, not with Sunday included for maintenance.
Can't remember why we agreed on Sunday when we were here the last time.
It was just in case.
Just in case, I guess, maybe we didn't know
you wanted to change to Sunday.
if it would be okay with the board.
Okay, so 13, John, Sunday. Okay. Any other comments on these conditions?
We're going to do the same hours around.
So it says,
The first resolution we just passed had Sunday hours at 9:30.
this one this is maintenance, it just says 8 to 6, Monday through Sunday.
I just didn't know if they both had to be the same on timing, or it doesn't matter because the other one said 9 to 3.
I wouldn't think they would have to.
He's asking the.
This is maintenance.
Up to you guys.
Actually, I'm not sure why we put that in there, since they can adjust their hours as it goes, and they don't need to come back to us every time to change their hours. But it's in there, so
I mean, you could mirror it, so it's for the resolution you already passed. So they do match. Or
you want us to do that, mirror the sales hours to the maintenance hours. Is that good?
yes.
The sales hours were
Number two,
9 to 8, Monday through Friday, Saturdays, 9 to 6, Sunday, 11 to 3. Good for maintenance and sales.
yes,
Yeah.
that's good.
Okay, John, mirror number 2 from the first application to number 13 on the last. Okay? With that change, any other additional issues with the conditions? Okay, applicant's okay with the conditions. Any other additional comments by the board? With those changes and these conditions, do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve this resolution with conditions? So moved by Doug, seconded by Adrian. Any other, let's see. Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Beats.
Aaron Sweeney.
Aye.
Ethan Dobbs. Aye. And Henderson.
Aye. Okay, we closed the public hearing. We continued and we completed that resolution. Special use permits are completed. Okay, now we get to the one that's a little more complex, maybe, depending on how we do this. Okay. We have had in front of us PB 0901-22, the preliminary site plan. We have a resolution with conditions. We had the original submission to us. We have, as of today, received additional information, which Dan has, because we don't accept information the day of the meeting. So we do have some updated drawings. We have some photos and some other things to go along with it. So what we need to do is determine as a board where we want to go. Do we have enough information from the original drawing with the conditions and everything you've read and seen to move forward today without this additional information? we can still ask questions and do all the rest of that. But I just want to know where the board stands with this resolution, with all the conditions, which is basically what they did here, was take all these conditions and update them to the plan. Or does everybody have this need to see those plans, thus kicking this down the road another period of time? How does the board feel going forward?
I mean, I need some stuff answered before I'm in.
Before you can vote on these conditions? Okay,
Information, I feel like that needs to be provided, so.
okay, we can, I mean, a lot of stuff or just a handful of stuff that we can answer today?
The other stuff, or
Okay,
tires, I mean.
we can answer those. Anything, Aaron, you got it?
I had questions that could be asked.
Okay, you got questions that can be answered tonight, or do you want,
Most of the comments I had more related for final.
or fine, okay.
So,
All right, so with that, we have the application, we have a resolution with conditions, we know we have some additional questions. But I'll start to go through our normal process and start with staff and let staff kind of fill us in on where we are right now.
Yeah, I've granted a resolution with a number of conditions. That, I have one inquiry about one of the members of the board. Felt that all of the issues were addressed in the conditions that they were concerned with. So I'm not aware of any showstoppers, if you will, that would occur tonight that would allow you to move forward with additional approval of the preliminary plans based on the information in those resolutions.
Okay, thank you. Dan?
Yeah, I agree with Ron.
I just want to remind the board of the procedure is after you guys approve it, all these conditions have to be met before Ed can sign it, or anyone on staff can sign it. So, just because you don't have a drawing in front of you tonight, doesn't mean it wasn't covered in this resolution. There's a lot in the conditions already in here that need to be addressed. And, it was all provided by all the departments, in the town. They all responded back and gave it to Ron, and Ron drafted up this resolution. So, I do think the majority is covered. And I'm hoping that whatever is still lingering from your board, that maybe we can add a couple more conditions.
That will be the goal. The goal will be to go through this, then go through the board, see what additional questions we have, and see if there are additional conditions that need to be added to this, or if a condition that's already in here is done. Tim?
I'm good.
Lance?
So the applicant is providing stormwater mitigation above what is required because they don't disturb more than an acre. So a lot of our comments and questions had to deal with just kind of clarifying how that process is going to work. We had some questions on lighting, which also were added into the conditions of approval. I don't have anything substantial in our letter that I think would require them to come back to us prior to moving forward with the board. So I'm comfortable, as long as the board's comfortable, moving forward tonight with the preliminary.
Is that even with the clearing they need to do out back of the building and all that? That's not going to be more than an acre?
For the topsoil stockpile area, we will have to take a look at, because it's my understanding that that pile is going to be removed now. That was one of our questions. So that, including some of the additional work they're doing, but the work that they calculated was like 0.4. So I don't know how, that wasn't including the topsoil. So including the topsoil, it might be, but either way, that the mitigation that's proposed currently with what is currently being asked meets the criteria.
Okay, all right. With that, I'll start with the board. Again, remember, our goal is to ask questions and then make changes to the condition or add conditions to here. Doug?
no, like I said, most of mine were more for final.
For final,
Yeah,
okay.
I emailed some of those in
Yep.
today, but with new plans, I'll review those and might have
Right.
some more to add for final. but-
And of course, the process is we do preliminary, get it signed, then you submit final. We go through the same process again, discuss things. There should be very few things left on final, but we'll make sure and staff knows what we need on final. And then we go through this process again and sign final, and then you've got to go through the wickets of PRC and all the rest, and bonds and all kinds of
Letter to credit.
letters of credits and It's a process. It's a whole process you have to go through. So, okay, next, Adrian.
My concerns right now are that there's no dumpster on site, the trash.
How are you handling
How
trash?
are you gonna handle trash, like a dumpster enclosure or something that you're gonna, I'm sure you're gonna have a big dumpster or something, one that lifts up that kind of shoulder that you roll out to the curb.
Right. I believe that, we addressed that, today, and
So it's on
the revised
or
plan will be submitted.
So there was a dumpster enclosure at,
So that might be answered with the plans once we see those. The other concern I have is used tires, where we're gonna stockpile those or put them, and they're not gonna be.
Same thing, so the process that we use currently now for car stores, we have a container that we put the tires in, and they come once it's filled, and they empty that, or they replace it with another one.
Yeah.
It'll be in this,
You're not doing that for outlets 332. Are you? I think there's a pile of tires in there, there's not a container.
Yeah, we actually, they come, we don't have a container they go in, but they come and pick them up, but minimum they would come pick up is 100 tires. So once they get 100, then they come and pick them up.
So,
That's
so is this
why-
gonna be the same?
here, or you're gonna have a container, like he's saying that.
Well,
No,
there's a container on the new plan.
we propose a container,
I mean, I'd rather see a container on the plan somewhere, but you know, that's where the stuff
it's
goes.
currently
or
the process that we use at the new car store.
Yeah.
You know, the store out here on 332, you might have a little bit of a different, potentially a little bit of a different process, but.
Well, question is, with this project that we are addressing right now, how are you planning to handle tires? Are you gonna have a container? Or are you gonna stack them without container?
Which you can make another, like, another dumpster enclosure, and you can put them inside that pen, so you can't see them, so all you see is like the wood walls. I'm okay with it. But like, I'm gonna point the neighbor out next in front of you, you know, the automobile shop that's already pre-existing. He has tires that just pile up on the side of the building.
I think- To be clear, you're saying you don't want tires stacked outside, correct?
I have
Unless
problems
it's
they're standing
screened.
outside, but I want them screened, I don't want to see
That's
them.
where I'm going.
Okay, I'm sorry, I want a screen or something, or a container that they open the door, they stack them in there and they take them out. You know,
Say that.
I don't know what's easier, cheaper, or whatever.
Inside that enclosed area, and a container.
You'll have the company drop the
Yeah.
container and stuff.
There's two on the new plans, there's two dedicated, bins, with containers around it. One would be for trash, one would be for tires.
So it's gonna be in a container in
Behind
an
the
enclosed
building.
area.
Right.
In that,
It'll stay inside this enclosed area
Okay.
that we denoted on the plan.
Is that on the, I know you put it on the plan, but it's not in the resolution.
It wasn't in the resolution, nor was it a question from.
There was
I understand.
a condition in the special use permit that prohibits that outdoor storage of tires.
I don't know, but I can look it up again, but those are my two biggest concerns, was garbage and, the other one I had was, waste oil tank, you're gonna have that inside the building?
Yes.
Anything else?
I'm good.
We could always add that as another condition to the site plan.
Aaron.
Garbage,
I would probably prefer that, if it's easier to use it. I'll double check right now and see if I can find it. I'll probably do it.
Hey, Aaron.
Through my readings today, I don't remember where exactly it was, but it was talking about phase 1 and phase 2, and then it was relabeled as future work. Is that an issue? I mean, I don't see it on the details here. Is that an issue where we're gonna run into? Basically, I wanna say, if there's future work, we're not voting on it tonight. It's
That's
just-
correct. If there's going to be further development of parcel B or lot 2 or whatever you want to call
Parcel B.
it, it's subject to a site plan review approval.
And then, This is more for, putting on final, so we get ahead of it. So I see now where the transformer is coming down from the pole, right by the sign and the bench. I don't see on here, and it's not a big deal for this, but, I don't see any landscaping around that transformer, which is called for in the ADS plan. So
Yeah, we handed in some drawings, some recreations of what our landscaping looked like, they even identify the town code plants that are going to be installed. And that will encompass not only our signage, but it'll extend back to where our transformer will be, so it'll encompass that whole area.
Okay.
Cover it up.
Yeah, it needs
So
to
from what we
be,
saw, the sign that we got today, email, that's gonna push back and go around.
Correct.
it needs to be tall enough to block and actually,
Yeah, I think Dan,
okay,
Dan or Ron sent us some photos of, I think it was the Walmart
the
transformer.
one down at Walmart, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Anything else, Mayor? You're good?
Yes.
The sign is with this, right?
We're after, you'll have pictures of it, we
For
have-
final,
As we're using pre-existing.
we're using the pre-existing location where they're just changing spin on it.
And the frame of the sign is
Right.
still there. We're just gonna reutilize it, something that's already been previously approved on prior site.
Okay, so what I heard to be added as conditions to this resolution is outside storage of tires will be enclosed behind the building.
Dumpster container or?
Yes.
Will be in a container enclosed behind the building, okay? And then also the dumpster will be in an enclosed area. So you got an enclosed dumpster and enclosed tire in a container. Okay, we'll add those two to the resolution. Does anybody have any additional comments before I ask the applicant? Okay, applicant, with those changes to this resolution, is this resolution with conditions acceptable to you?
Yes.
Okay. With that, do I have a motion by this board to approve the resolution, waive the read, approve the resolution with conditions and waive the read? Moved by Adrian, second by Doug, any other comment? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Doug Leeds. Aaron Sweeney.
No.
Adrian Douglas. Ed Henry.
Aye. Okay,
It's carried.
carried. Preliminary is done. Next phase is to obviously work with staff, make sure everything that's in these resolutions is on the plans. And we get them signed, and once they're signed, then you can submit one. Okay? Staff can fill you in on everything else. All right, with that, that's complete. Next, other board actions. We have no other board actions. Next is open discussion. Ron.
Okay, yesterday afternoon, we received the application for rezoning for the Powers, what we're calling incentive zoning project over here on the north side of thing 6, opposite of the racetrack.
Okay,
That will be introduced to the town board next Tuesday, the 11th, and then sent to this board for its required report and recommendation. Now, depending on whether you have a second meeting in October, you may want to let the board know when to put in the town board resolution when you're going to be ready to take action.
we're planning not to do the October 19th meeting and have a November 2nd meeting,
Okay.
of which I probably will not be. Okay?
I just needed that for the resolution. Okay.
Okay, by the way, we're done with you guys.
We're pretty well, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here going on and thinking you guys understood that. I'm sorry. I don't want to, the entertainment value here is great. I understand. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Ron, continue. Howard, okay.
Okay, next up is the Farmington Market Center. revised traffic report from now Paso Road, so it's formerly SRF Associates. Has been submitted and sent to Fisher, who is dealing with the all three traffic studies.
Mhm.
If somebody wants that report, it's only 140 pages. If you need some sleeping medicine.
I was gonna say, I sleep pretty well, I don't need that.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is the comprehensive plan report to the town board. We do have to work with town ops to identify where we're at in the plan as it's been adopted earlier this year, and what's on the agenda for next year, so that we have a tracking mechanism
Right.
in the future when the next person.
So if you can get us that draft, we'll probably, I would assume we'll look at the second meeting in November, hopefully looking at it and approving it. But get it to us early so we get a chance to review it if you would.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Okay, I still haven't heard back from county tourism
Right.
on the short-term rentals, or as others refer to them, Airbnbs. As soon as we get something from them, we'll move forward with updating that. And then the only other thing is that we're putting together a grant application. I am putting together a grant application for the second phase of the sidewalk trail master plan, to take a look at what other areas we've identified in the long range plan need to be identified and justified for future grant application to the Federal Highway Administration. A couple of the areas that we're going to look at is how do we take care of people walking along the shoulders of 332? That's not a safe condition, and we need to find
No.
an alternative for that. The other thing is that we have an opportunity to talk about in this study the continued use of the Ontario Central Railroad. In case anybody missed it, there seems to be some momentum building that railroad should be cut back, if not eliminated altogether, because it's not being used. And we're looking at what that implication is. Just so you know, G2C did identify a long-term plan for converting that railroad bed to a bike pedestrian trail like Auburn Trail. So that would connect into the village of Manchester, and connect up to the Ontario pathways that goes into Phelps, also to the Finger Lakes Trail and to the Ontario pathways.
But
So
they wanted to use the piece in Victor as a bypass.
there is a part of the Victor plan to use a bypass around the village to get over to 444. And things are slowly coming together.
Very slow.
That's the railroad track right out here?
Yes, but as it goes into Victor,
No, I know.
spin off and do its thing.
Yeah,
I thought people were still using it. I thought the lumber company over there, NBR using it, so I haven't seen that train come in there in quite some time.
right.
I thought the install.
I know the-
place used-
I know the Victor, well, they used, and
Victor
then the
also-
other company used to would close, so it didn't go all the way to Victor. I thought it still came down to you guys. I get it.
I think there maybe once a month.
If
I
that,
might go down through there.
Wow.
and the problem that they're having is maintaining these railroad crossings, like
Yeah.
I call that County Road 8 and
They're so
28.
smooth.
You know, it's,
So I think, I don't remember who said it from Ontario County, but
the railroad needs rail for other places. That's why they want to take this rail out. And use it with
I'd be
rail.
okay having a smooth Hook
Yeah.
Road, smooth County Road 8, 28, I don't know, any of them, collab would be great, just to be a straight road now, but.
But Ontario County was talking that they were only talking taking it out the county road.
Whatever, cool.
Yeah, and then the third area that we've got to look at is how we're going to address the pedestrian crossing of Brooklyn Flat. That's an area that needs some attention and how it can be achieved through whatever changes are needed. I know one of the previous highway superintendents wanted a roundabout there. Other studies have identified the need for a four-way stop. The issue becomes, you've got with the country max.
I was gonna say, it'd be hard to put a roundabout where you got somebody developing the other corner now, so that's 3 out of 4 corners.
Well, the hardest corner is the one of the, what do they call it, the northwest corner. Ultra fast. Yeah. That's the one that's going to be most difficult.
Yeah.
So anyways, those are some of the issues that we're identifying to take a further harder look at. And the other thing is, I went to the Conservation Board the other night. If you haven't seen them, take a look at the signs that are up there at Hickory Rise on the Conservation Trail. Conservation Board, by the way, just a reminder, Saturday's supposed to be a nice
Yep.
day.
Yep. I was gonna say that.
They're gonna do the adopt a highway stuff.
Yep.
And I think that's about it for now.
Honestly, I'd rather do that than go to Biggins to this conference, but I don't have a choice.
So, yeah, this was our day, so the conservation board is doing it for us, is what I'm hearing.
No, this was always the conservation board. And we're just gonna help them. And they actually have the adopt the highway from the conservation board. We're just gonna help them.
The Conservation Board has fewer members than you do. And to help them out, you guys have agreed to. And I think there might be 1 or 2 town board members that show up as well.
Hopefully so, hopefully so.
Is there, an email I sent out? Time and place, meeting?
I can,
Please send that out, yeah. Okay, Dan,
All right, so your next meeting would be November
second.
2nd. And right now, I can't tell you what would be on that, but I'm sure there's some stuff on it I've been working on a lot.
We expect Power to be on this.
Right, Power will definitely be on it, but I don't know what other projects will be coming in. We're not to this level yet, so I can't really give you a good update. I can tell you that Tim and I have been out doing a lot of stormwater stuff and that time of the year, I guess. And that's about all I have to report.
Cool. Highway, Tim.
Moving roll at the highway, and get done with mowing. Reminder, next weekend, 14th and 15th is the fall cleanup. It's 8 to 6 on Friday and it's 8 to 3 on Saturday. We'll have shredding there on Saturday. That's 11 to 1. Garbage control winter.
Yeah.
Right. Well, other than that,
That's it. Okay, lamps. Yeah, I got a dehumidifier valve in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Those are popular.
I'm not coming back for it. MRB, Lance.
No, town's keeping us busy with water and sewer projects. We do have, some dialogue coming up on the site design criteria, again, do some minor updates hopefully for that. So there'll be another revision of that. And then I imagine again, and the town will move forward. Nothing needs to be official, MS4 official. We will, be probably moving forward with meetings on the swap time again, so this one, I really appreciate.
Okay, Tim,
Oh, no.
okay, for me, I was just, huh?
Yeah, just for Dan, we probably should give notice to the newspaper that we're not going to have a second meeting.
Yeah.
In October.
Yeah, if you can, Joe, just let them know it's canceled.
Yeah. It's not a legal notice, just a public
Right.
notice.
Probably,
And it's posted on the window of the town.
yeah,
Because somebody will show up, sure as heck.
yeah, right. He'll be the only one who'll be here, and he already knows we're not gonna be here. The only thing I had was clean up Saturday. Ron's gonna get an email out to all of us. I will not be here. I'll be in Binghamton. Leaving on Thursday, the 13th. I'll be back later on the 2nd, so you guys don't have to do the second meeting unless for some reason I burn it up and get here really quick, which I,
Was that in the signatures? It was in the signatures.
yes. If there's any crisis signatures, they'll get a hold of you. And then, as I said, I won't be here for the second, but then I will be here. What's our second meeting in November? What's the date on that? Pretty sure it's gotta be before.
At 16.
Well, you could have the flex space building there, Lester Mill and Loomis.
Yeah, okay, I will be here for that one. I then got a quick vacation over Thanksgiving, and then I'm back for the duration, I think. Okay, any other comments by anybody? Motion adjourned by Adrian, seconded by Aaron. Any other comments? All in favor? Aye. All right, good meeting.
Could be.
Well, honestly.